Happy first day back to school and welcome to a new season of Tech Tuesday. I'm starting things off early this year and I've made a few changes. I'm using WeVideo to edit episodes now, hence the new opening, and I'm trying out green screen for the first time. So fingers crossed, you should not see a green background behind me, but actually see a more cozier office background. I'm very excited that everyone is back and I can't wait to see what we do this year. For this first episode, I'm starting things off light and giving you ideas that you can use the first week of school to help start building those relationships. When I first became an ITRT, I started using Twitter to connect with other teachers, but over time I got away from it. This past school year, I started venturing back to it, and I'm really happy with the educators and technology integrators that I've been able to connect with. And I've seen lots of great ideas for the first week of school. Things that will help you build relationships with students, cool icebreakers, lots of great ideas. So here we go.
Back to school with G Suite. Casey Bell is the creator of Shake Up Learning, and she has activities that you can use with Google Apps. The first one is to create a student interest survey in Google Forms and ask questions such as the name students want to be called by or what students are passionate about. The next one is vision boards with Google Slides. If some of you don't remember, I did a training on this for the start of spring semester last year. If you'd like to see another training on this, drop me an email. And the third one is learning goals in Google Keep. Now, if you don't know what Google Keep is, this is a hidden gem. This is both a website and an app that you could put on any kind of device. I use it for both work and at home for to-do lists, grocery shopping lists, and to take notes. You can also share lists and have multiple people editing the same list. Chris and I actually did this at the beginning of August to jot down the items that needed to be updated before everyone else came back to work. So we both had a chance to go in and edit or mark off different jobs that we had done. I also really like the idea of using Google Keep for learning goals with our ESOL and SPED students, because you can collaborate with individual students and then both of you have access to those goals and can physically check off the boxes when each goal has been met. Now, these goals might be specific tasks, objectives from a unit, or even goals on an IEP. I'll add the link to the description area of the YouTube video so you can check out all of Casey's ideas. Another first day survey that I really like is by Catlin Tucker. She's a teacher and ed tech speaker. I think Catlin's survey goes a little deeper than Casey's, asking students when they learn best and in what type of environments. There's also a couple of questions about access to Wi-Fi and devices that you can take out. But the best part is she lets you make a copy of her Google form so you can edit it as needed. Catlin also has a cool icebreaker using Padlet called It's Time to Take a Selfie, where students can post a selfie in response to a question. You could also do something similar to this in Flipgrid. And speaking of Flipgrid, if you haven't heard about this site yet, hang on tight. This is the new tool everyone is talking about. A couple of teachers on Twitter posted how they are going to be using Flipgrid during their first week. Kathi from New Jersey shared this chart of ideas for intro videos. I really like the one that is an intro to your family, where you can interview members of your family, including pets. And I think that will be really fun for our younger students. Or you could create a video about fun topics, something like talking about 5 favorites. Stephanie, another educator, tweeted out that she is sending home a letter with a Flipgrid link and asking her students to introduce themselves before the first day of school, so she'll already have a chance to get to know them. That's a pretty cool idea. And then from one other tweet, I discovered a Pinterest board that Matt Miller of Ditch That Textbook fame created with back to school ideas. Now, I'm not talking about this Matt Miller, I'm talking about this Matt Miller. Here's a tip. This is going to be very important come next week to know which one other teachers are referring to, so stay tuned. So on this board, I found one of my favorite things, Hyperdocs. There's one that students can do about goal setting and thinking about their futures. Carly Mora and Rachel Marker created this Hope and Dreams Hyperdoc. As a teacher, this would be a great way to try one out if you haven't before and simultaneously introduce it to students. I know a lot of you also like to have students discover what type of learner they are, so this Hyperdoc by Jen Gripman will be great for you. I also really like This Is Us by Nicole Beardsley. This is a Google Slides template where every student works on the same slide deck, but on separate slides responding to questions and adding pictures. Nicole has directions for how to use her template, and I want to add a couple of tips because this can be confusing at first. Instead of letting students grab any blank slide, which could end up in students fighting over the same slide, add your students' names to the slides ahead of time and tell them to find the slide with their name on it. Or assign each student a number, and that's the slide that they'll use. I'll add the link to the board where you can find other ideas too. And finally, here's an idea of my own. Last year, and again at New Teacher Training, I did a PD session on Google Drawings and challenged participants to make their own self-portraits. You could do this with students as well, or have them create their alter egos, like a superhero or a rock star.
And one last tip. As you are teaching your new students about your classroom procedures during the first week, don't forget to also include procedures about technology. This is very important because even though our students have been surrounded by these guys their entire lives, what they use in the classroom is very different, and so are their teachers. How you may want something turned in may be very different than another teacher in another subject. There are also students who may not be as familiar with certain tools, so this is a good time to ask them what they've used in the past. This will also be a good time to discuss Land School and teach your students about how you're going to use the program this year. And it's a good time to practice. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there will be training at the middle school on August 16th and at the high school on August 22nd. If you have any questions about any of these ideas or tools, please send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help. Again, welcome back, and I hope you have a great year and a great first week.